Have you ever wondered what it would be like to encounter a mammoth, the colossal creatures of the Ice Age? Picture a world gripped by extreme cold, with vast expanses of ice and snow stretching as far as the eye could see. This was the Ice Age, a period that began around 2.5 million years ago, and lasted until about 11,000 years ago. In this frosty era, amid the chilling winds and falling snow, roamed the mammoths, true titans of their time. These gigantic mammals, relatives of the modern-day elephants, were perfectly adapted to thrive in the harsh conditions of the Ice Age. With their towering stature, long curved tusks, and thick woolly fur, they were a sight to behold. The mammoths were indeed the undisputed giants of the Ice Age, so step back in time with me to the Ice Age where mammoths ruled. Imagine a creature so large it towers over you. Yes, that's a mammoth for you. Mammoths, the behemoths of the Ice Age, were truly a sight to behold. These majestic creatures stood tall, with adults reaching heights of up to 14 feet. That's nearly 3 times the height of an average human. And it wasn't just their stature that was impressive. Adult mammoths could weigh as much as 10 tons. That's roughly the weight of 7 small cars. But what really made these creatures stand out was their long, curved tusks. These could grow up to 15 feet long, and they weren't just for show. Mammoths used these tusks for a variety of purposes, from digging for food under deep snow to battling rivals for dominance. Covering their massive bodies was a dense coat of fur, designed to keep them warm in the harsh Ice Age environment. This fur, which was a mix of short underhair and long, coarse outer hair, could reach lengths of up to 3 feet in some species. Now, these giants weren't just physically impressive, they were also well adapted to their environment. Mammoths were herbivores, feeding primarily on grasses, shrubs, and trees. Their large, flat teeth were perfect for grinding up tough, fibrous plant material. Living in the Ice Age wasn't easy, but mammoths had their ways of coping. In winter, when food was scarce, they would use their long tusks to scrape away snow and ice, uncovering buried vegetation to eat. They were also known to migrate to warmer areas where food was more plentiful. So as we can see, mammoths were not just large creatures, but ones that were fully equipped to handle the harsh Ice Age. They had evolved and adapted to survive in some of the toughest conditions on Earth. And while they may be gone, they continue to fascinate us with their sheer size and remarkable adaptations. These were not just large creatures, but ones that were fully equipped to handle the harsh Ice Age. Did you know there wasn't just one type of mammoth? This might surprise you, but mammoths were a diverse group with several unique species, each adapted to thrive in its own specific environment. Let's start with the most famous one, the woolly mammoth. This iconic species, with its massive curved tusks and shaggy coat, was perfectly suited for life in the harsh Arctic environment. The woolly mammoth stood roughly 11 feet tall, and its long curved tusks could reach a length of up to 16 feet. Its thick woolly coat, a distinctive characteristic, provided insulation against the biting cold. Next, we have the Columbian mammoth, which was a bit of a giant among giants. This mammoth species was one of the biggest, standing up to 14 feet tall and weighing in at a staggering 10 tons. Unlike the woolly mammoth, the Columbian mammoth lived in warmer regions of North America and did not have the same thick woolly coat. Another notable species is the pygmy mammoth, the smallest of the lot. As the name suggests, these mammoths were tiny compared to their larger cousins, standing only about 6 feet tall. Despite their size, they were successful inhabitants of the Channel Islands off the coast of California, showing that even in the mammoth world, size isn't everything. Last but not least, we have the imperial mammoth, which roamed across what is now the western United States. This particular species had long, spiraled tusks, and a body built for grazing on the plentiful grasses of its habitat. Each of these species had its unique characteristics and adaptations that helped it survive in its specific environment. Whether it was the woolly mammoth's thick coat, the Columbian mammoth's towering size, the pygmy mammoth's compact build, or the imperial mammoth's specialized grazing habits, these differences highlight the incredible diversity within the mammoth family. Each species, unique in its own way, added to the mammoth family's diversity. Mammoths weren't just restricted to one part of the world. These colossal creatures roamed far and wide during the Ice Age, making their home in diverse regions spanning from North America to Europe and from Asia to Africa. In North America, they traversed the icy landscapes of Alaska and the grasslands of the Midwest. In Europe, they roamed from the British Isles to the vast plains of Russia. Over in Asia, they were found from Siberia all the way to China, and even ventured into the warm climates of northern Africa. But how did they manage to survive in such varied climates and landscapes? Well, mammoths were masters of adaptation. Their enormous size helped them endure the cold, while their long, curved tusks were perfect for digging up vegetation buried beneath snow or ice. In warmer climates, mammoths had shorter hair and larger ears, which helped them stay cool. So, mammoths were truly global citizens, adapting to various climates and landscapes. Ready for some mammoth-sized fun facts? Let's dive right into some remarkable aspects of these Ice Age giants. Mammoths were social creatures, much like today's elephants. They lived in herds led by the oldest and largest female, known as the matriarch. These groups could range from a handful to several dozen individuals, providing protection and companionship for each member. Their sophisticated communication system, based on a range of sounds and touch, was key to maintaining these social bonds. Now, have you ever wondered how mammoths managed to survive the harsh Ice Age winters? Well, they were well equipped for the cold, with a thick layer of fat under their skin, a dense coat of woolly fur, and even long, shaggy skirts of hair around their legs. These adaptations acted like a natural thermal suit, keeping them warm in freezing temperatures. Mammoths were also pretty picky eaters. They mostly feasted on grasses, shrubs, and other vegetation, using their long, curved tusks to scrape away snow and reach their food. Their teeth were designed for grinding, not tearing, which means they were purely herbivorous. Speaking of tusks, these weren't just eating tools. They were also weapons and status symbols. Male mammoths would engage in fierce tusk wrestling matches during the mating season, with the victor winning the right to mate with the females of the herd. Now, let's talk about mammoths and humans. Yes, our ancestors coexisted with these giants and even hunted them for food and materials. Some cultures revered mammoths, creating intricate cave paintings and carvings in their honor. These artworks provide valuable insights into the relationship between early humans and mammoths. Lastly, did you know that mammoths were excellent swimmers? Their long tusks helped them to balance in water, and their fatty humps acted like built-in flotation devices. Swimming allowed them to cross rivers and lakes in search of food, demonstrating once again their incredible adaptability. Mammoths, as we can see, were full of surprises. These curiosities show us the richness of life during the Ice Age and the remarkable adaptability of these magnificent creatures. But what happened to these massive creatures? Why don't we see them today? Around 10,000 years ago, the mammoths that once roamed the earth began to disappear. The exact cause of their extinction is still a subject of much debate among scientists. However, two theories are particularly prominent. The first points to a drastic climate change that marked the end of the Ice Age. As the earth warmed, the mammoths' icy habitats melted away, leading to a significant reduction in their food supply. The second theory implicates human activity. As our ancestors spread across the globe, they hunted mammoths for their meat, fur, and ivory. The pressure of this overhunting may have been too much for the mammoth populations to bear, leading to their eventual demise. Regardless of which theory holds true, one thing is certain. The mammoth's extinction was a significant event in our planet's history. And so, the era of mammoths ended, leaving us with only fossils and wonders. So that was a journey back in time, to the era of mammoths. We have seen the physical grandeur of these Ice Age giants, from their massive size and weight to their distinctive fur and tusks. We've explored their eating habits and how they adapted to the icy environment, and delved into the diverse species that roamed the earth, each with its own unique characteristics. We've traced their geographical distribution, understanding how they thrived in different climates. We've discovered fascinating facts about their behavior and how they interacted with other species. Finally, we've pondered upon the theories of their extinction, and the possible role of climate change and human activity. As we leave the frosty landscapes of the Ice Age, we invite you to delve deeper. Do you have questions or perhaps suggestions for future journeys into the past? We'd love to hear them. We hope you enjoyed this mammoth-sized adventure. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video with your friends who are as curious as you are about the wonders of the past.